The video I'm about to show you might be proof that Khamzat Chimaev's coach is the partial reason behind him losing to Sean Strickland. Now, I'm not trying to discredit Sean for his performance. The main reason he was able to beat Khamzat was because he came prepared, and stylistically, I guess he was a little bit of a challenge for someone like Khamzat. And before I continue with the video, I ask that you like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you.
I lost every fight that I trained with Coach Cal, and I'm not really blaming him.
Let's be real. You're blaming him to a certain degree, and that's fine because he definitely played a role in the result.
I learned so much from him. I think he's like a savant when it comes to some things. But when I said, "Why am I doing this?" and this has been my theory, my thing in my career, is I should always be able to challenge you. Like you say, go do 1,000 of this. Okay, why?
I like that. I like that. I feel like as a coach, it shouldn't even get to a point where your students have to always ask you why they're doing certain things. I think as you're telling them, do this drill, tell them this drill is going to help you in this type of scenario. It's just good to be transparent.
Tell me why. Explain to me why that's going to benefit me, and I'll do it. But if you can't tell me why it's a benefit to me, then no, absolutely not. So I was getting ran to the ground, and when I said twice a week, and then training hard, right? So by the time I made it to the fight, I was on E.
You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I hate the gym culture that pushes this whole, narrative that you have to punish yourself in order for you to be 100% functional in whatever sport you're doing. I remember even I had the same experience when I used to train with some guy at a gym, right? He did this thing like where he made me hit like this heavy bag. I forgot what it's called, but it's you're not supposed to hit it, bare knuckle. And I did it and messed up my knuckles. I couldn't fight for like 1 week. I couldn't hit the heavy bag. I couldn't throw a punch. I couldn't do anything.
There was no tapering. It was like grind, 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 grind. And so you get into the fight, and you're like, I've been fighting for 2 months, 3 months. Like, I'm tired, you know? And what I learned is we need to be trained sometimes more mental than physical, and be built up, and learned that if you do things properly and you give your body time to repair itself, you'll perform better.
That's true. You have look. I'm not an expert, guys. I'm not acting like an expert. I'm just telling you what I personally experienced. There were times where I pushed myself so hard that I literally couldn't work out the next day and days after that. I remember I had zero experience lifting weights, so I kept doing what these I don't know what these are called. Yeah, don't laugh at me, but yeah, so barbell curls, but it wasn't barbell. It was the big one or whatever. So I kept on doing them, right? And for 1 week, I was in a mannequin state, bro. Over a week, I was in a man. I couldn't fully extend my arms, bro. That's not productive. It's better if you work your way up gradually. Like the thing of punishing yourself. Sometimes I think it's counterproductive.
And that's really what I learned. And so when I went back and I was like, hey, is there any way that we can alter this? I was told, well, he's not tough enough. There's plenty of people that want to be in your position. And if you're not tough enough, and I was like, I've, I've, do you know how many bones I've broken in fights?
Yeah, you see, that's the whole gym culture, man. You're not tough enough. You're not tough enough. That's the same thing that I had to deal with, man, when I was training back then. Like the guy I dealt with, like I remember I went to train while I had flu. He didn't tell me to train. I chose to. Wasn't productive at all. I was slothful. I felt like Hamzat when he fought Sean Strickland, bro. And it just wasn't productive. I got pieced up. Like it's my gosh, man. Look, I'm pretty sure Sam Calavita is a good strength and conditioning coach. I've seen some of the guys he works with, Khalil Roundtree, Arman Sarukian, Khamzat Chimaev. So it may not entirely be his fault. Khamzat has a history of overtraining. Even TJ Dillashaw said it himself. And Coach Cal was supposed to be the solution to that. And for some time, I actually thought he potentially might have been because in the DDP fight, he didn't guess out. But then I thought to myself, he didn't guess out because Drickus couldn't figure out how to escape a crucifix. So we didn't have enough data to really back up that claim. And after watching the Sean Strickland fight, I think his coach might be a partial reason why he lost the fight. But the thing is with Khamzat, I remember he would tell Arman, "Are you a fighter or are you an influencer? Do you want to be a champion?" The other, like they do it jokingly, but little does he know that Arman's approach to training is probably more beneficial to him than Khamzat's one is, because there are times when Arman runs off to be with Neon and Nina Drama and they do the content thing, and then Arman comes back. You see, during that time, Arman is probably recovering, whereas Khamzat is overtraining himself, bro. Like I said before, I'm not a strength and conditioning expert. It's just my opinion. I think Khamzat overtrains himself. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.